Hello, this is Dr. Stanley Lang. Welcome to this broadcast, and the topic is how to reverse and naturally control type 2 diabetes. So how do you reverse and control naturally, that means without medication, type 2 diabetes? And the secondary part of this is more specifically, how do you make failure impossible? How do you make failure impossible? So promising that you can't fail is, of course, something that I can't do for you, but I can show you how you can make failure impossible. So the reason for this subject today is because of a follow-up of a patient that has been on our diabetes reversal program for a little over 2 years. And he came in with diabetes that wasn't that bad. His A1C was 6.9. Of course, that's diagnostic for diabetes. His blood sugar, though, was around 200 in fasting when he went to the emergency room. And when I saw him for the first time, he was definitely interested in a strategy that didn't use medication. He had been given an appointment at the diabetic clinic, but then when I reviewed with him the different options for how to treat his diabetes and what the likely path would be if you followed the usual diabetic plan from the ADA, including the usual ADA diet, the American Diabetes Association diet, versus the strategies that we teach, which are low glycemic eating, very low glycemic eating, but with a strategy that's sustainable, not just something that you do for a while. And this gentleman is a good example that you can do this long term, the program that we have, because he's literally been on it for 2 years without virtually any backsliding, so to speak. And his A1C has dropped to 5.1. Now, notice that his weight is decreased 74 pounds, and that's over a two-year period of time. I've had patients lose that much weight in less than a year, actually less than a half a year following this same program. But this gentleman doesn't exercise, so there are reasons for that. He's got mechanical reasons that he can't exercise very much, but hopefully he will be able to as he loses more weight. But the thing that's neat about this person is that we had this conversation today about how you get to a place where failure is impossible. And I told him that I was convinced that he had reached the point where failure was now impossible. And the reason for that is because of this. He had a roadmap to follow that was a good roadmap, that is our program, that guarantees that if you stay on the road, you will achieve the goal. And he had accountability. And now I was providing the accountability. I've been seeing him about every 1 to 3 months for the first year, and now I see him every 3 months. But I won't need to see him that frequently in the future. Now, every time I've seen him, he's had a list of questions a mile long. We answer all of them, dig into them deeply, because he really does want to solve the problem. And what I told him was that he had succeeded in making failure impossible because he had internalized accountability. He had internalized it. What does that mean? What I've been providing, he has now made in his insides that same person that holds himself accountable. And this is basically a matter of integrity. Integrity. Now, what does integrity mean? It means that a simple definition of integrity is that you do the right thing when nobody's watching. So integrity at work means that whether your boss is watching or not, whether you're going to be checked up on or not, you do the right thing. That is integrity. And applying integrity to the principles that you learn for this roadmap, once you internalize this idea that I'm going to be on this road, I'm going to do it the rest of my life, and I hold myself accountable, and there's something inside that clicks, and you hold yourself accountable now. You don't need an external force. You don't need anybody on the outside that's pushing you, because something has changed inside and you now hold yourself accountable. And it is rare for somebody who has reached the stage of this gentleman more than 2 years into this program to now fall off the wagon. It just doesn't happen very often. So it makes failure literally impossible. But first of all, you have to be on a road that you can sustain. And many of the diets that are out there, they're not sustainable. People get tired of them. They get bored with them. They don't like how it tastes. There's no way to change it around. And the strategy that we use in this program is a very low glycemic eating plan that usually is a glucose-based program, which means it's not ketogenic. But what we do is add ketogenic desserts and ketogenic breads into the program so that people have a lot of flexibility as long as they're willing to do some cooking at home. If you want to go to the store to buy your meals, this program is not for you. But if you're willing to learn how to prepare simple foods at home relatively quickly, you can do this program, and it is a way to completely reverse your diabetes. Now, it's different people achieve that endpoint at different rates, and it depends a whole lot on how much people are exercising. And as I said, in this case, this gentleman isn't exercising nearly enough, but I'm hoping he will start to be able to exercise more, because he's kind of past a threshold of weight loss where it's now kind of comfortable for him to move around. He still has a ways to go. And so the other really interesting thing about this is that he's completely reversed his diabetes, and he's still over 100 pounds overweight. Now, that's pretty dramatic, but the reason is that he's had this sustained movement of his chemistry in the right direction now for 2 years. And he lost 4 pounds in the last 3 months. Now, that's not a lot of weight loss, but it's sustained. His weight loss has slowed down, but he's continuing on the same path. And 74 pounds of sustained weight loss over 2 years, that's pretty darn good. Much, much better than the average. And it's only because he's internalized it. He's internalized accountability. And that's what you need to do if you want to succeed. Now, most people do much better with external accountability when they start on a program. So finding somebody that you can have that is your external accountability partner is a really valuable thing to do. Doing this on your own is not easy. But once you have this accountability partner and you're really accountable to them for the decisions you make, and you say, I'm going to do this, and then you check in that week, did you do it or not? When you do that over and over and over again, and by 9 months into that process, if you've been consistent with your accountability partner, you have a very good chance of having reached this point of internalization of the accountability, and the point of integrity where even when nobody's watching, only God is watching, you do the right thing. You do the right thing when it comes to how you eat. You just you just have already made up in your mind that there's no way you're going to eat the wrong food that's going to throw you off track. And that can be reached by anybody that wants to. Now, the issue is there's a lot of people that make a lot of noise that they want something, but they don't really want it yet. They haven't reached that point inside where they really want it. And I can't read how people are. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt when they tell me they want to do this program. Some of them succeed, and some of them are still on the path of reaching the point of deciding that they want to do the program. But during that whole time, I'm here as an accountability person for them. I can hold their feet to the fire, so to speak. And you need somebody like that until you have internalized the program. And so the program we have is the Diabetes Reversal Program. You can get access to that below this video by clicking on the link. And I'd like to give you a free gift, which is a book that we call Why Am I Still Fat?, which teaches how to eat low glycemic in a very simple way. So at least pick up the free book. But if you're interested in a simple and effective program, the exact same program that this gentleman has internalized, it's all in that how to reverse diabetes program that you can click on below this video. So I wish you well in your journey. Remember that ultimately success lies on internalization of accountability and having integrity in your decisions so that you do the right thing when nobody's watching. I wish you well, God bless, and have a great day.